Okay, this isn't going to be a review video, this is going to be more of a comparison video. I thought that this might be an interesting little subject to look at, because we all know, it's allegedly known that the stickerless Fangshi apparently moves better and feels better than a stickered Fangshi. Like the coloured one apparently moves better than the stickered Fangshi. So we all know how it feels, smoother and stuff. So what this video is going to answer is, does a stickerless Panshi move better than a stickered Panshi? Now I have two here to compare, two Panshis, and I've skipped all the unboxing and stuff. I've got it all out ready in time, so we can just skip straight ahead through to the comparison. Just quickly run through what came with it, the box, all the pieces, the card, as usual, from a HK Now store. I have a few of these now. And one thing which I thought was a little strange, and this is the second time that it's happened, when you buy a cube that you've got a sticker, like a DIY black cube or a white cube, you'd expect to get stickers. When you get a stickerless cube, you don't expect to get stickers. But I got a DIY stickerless cube, and I don't mind stickers, which I thought was a bit strange, but I'll keep having them. Thanks, Calvin. Anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and assemble this and lube it, and then we'll get on with the comparison. So through the magic of editing, I am back. Now I've got to say, out of the box, it's either a placebo effect or it's really true, but I have to say that the stickerless version feels better than what the stickered version did out of the box, and they were both DIYs. You still get that, if you can hear that bumpy feeling, or that bumpy sound, but keep in mind that this has yet to be broken in. I've probably done 2 or 3 averages of 12, and I'm hitting the usual average of about 21 seconds. And these two have been well broken in, but what I've done to these two to kind of speed up the process, I've removed the torpedoes, and with the torpedoes out it doesn't really make that much of a difference, but to the popping and stuff. But what it does, I think, is where the torpedo sits against the center, when it runs across the center, the stem, there's no bump, 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 sort of catchy feeling. But what I'm going to do with this one, me stickerless Panshi, is break it in properly. I set it up and lubed it up properly, and I'm going to break it in. But keep in mind for this comparison that this still needs to be broken in. Now what I found with the stickerless version when I put it together, or the newer version, if it is a newer version, when I was putting together these pieces, that when I pushed these two pieces together, and for the corners, the same thing happened. I wound up with little gaps and had to really force them together. But for these ones, the stickerless one, it went together so nicely. Just pushed together, everything was in perfect. So I don't know if that's the improvement they've made, or it's just for this one, but it went together beautifully. And it's still that it turns pretty nicely too. You still get that blocky feeling. If you own a Panshi, you know what I'm talking about. It's really sort of a clunky sort of feeling. But it's not so bad once you get used to it. And it's still corner cuts the same as what the others do, probably what these ones do, probably just before 45, and it'll go, so just before 45, with a little bit of force. And even without the torpedoes in, this one hasn't got the torpedoes in it, and if I go just before 45, it goes as well. So I'll probably try a little over 45, or line to line, and you get that twisty lock-up thing, like this back edge wants to pop out. You can see it moving around. So just before 45, and it goes no problem. So one tip I do have, if you're having problems with that bumpy feeling in your Panshi, is remove the torpedoes, because it doesn't really affect the popping in any way. Well, I've done heaps of sols without the torpedoes, and it doesn't really seem to affect anything. But what I'm gonna do for this one is leave them in and break the cube in properly. So overall, would I say that the stickerless one is better than the stickered one? Out of the box, I'd have to say yes. And once I broke it in, I think it would be better. But in my opinion, it is either, I think it's a placebo effect, but it is either true that the stickerless cubes move better than the stickered cubes, or it is a very major placebo effect. What's your opinion? Leave them in the comments below. There'll be a full review of the stickerless version once I've broken it in properly, just to see what the final turnout is for the stickerless one compared to the stickered one. Once I've broken it in properly, I'm going to do a full review on how it actually will turn out with time worked on it. Bye.